It's Friday, school is finished and it is tipping down with rain. How would you fancy a road trip?
Yes! Yay!
Let's go! Hello, good morning and welcome back to the FishLocker. Today, James and I are... Where are we, James?
Up north.
James and I are up north. We've come up north to visit some of my family. Whilst we're here, we're going to visit some of the local attractions. We're going to do some coastal foraging on the northeast coast. We might even get a chance to do a little bit of fishing.
Yep.
What do you reckon, James? Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's go.
It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground.
It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground.
Yeah.
There we are, and just in time, the lads have arrived. Let's go meet up with them. What were you saying that was, Jake? Was it a World War II pillbox?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who are you looking out for?
We have made it down to the beach. We're being treated today by David, Jacob and Isaac. And they are going to be... Well, actually, I'll just let you introduce me. You were saying to us that we're how many hours are we from low tide?
I think we're about an hour and a half before low tide now.
And you two boys, this is your local area, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So we're going to walk our ways down there, get to low tide and then work our way back along the scar.
Yeah.
What are we looking for?
We're looking for lobsters.
Brilliant. Well, I'm in your hands. James was just commenting on these. Aren't you, James? You were saying that there's shipwrecks every now and again. And we're just talking there that it's highly likely that it was an old quarry or like a pier. Because the tracks run all the way up. And Dave was just saying that there's them tracks up and down the beach, did you say?
Yes, so there's about, I'd probably say there's about four of them all across the beach going southwards.
And that was back when it used to be mainly mining.
Yeah, mining.
They'd be loading up all the ships through them, wouldn't they?
Yeah. They used to do it to get coal off the beaches as well.
It's all part of the local heritage. It's not so much anymore because it's all stopped, but it's what it once was. I tell you what, it's a fine morning to be out. We're just working our way down the shore now, and we're having a little look around in every time, but we find a decent rock pool. Explaining to James the differences and the similarities between foraging here up on the northeast and down in Cornwall where we are. It's great. But yeah, the rocks that we're at the moment, you can see that most of them are hard into ground, and that's just because this is the area where the most turbulence comes when there's a swell, when there's a roller, when there's any bad weather. So if these rocks aren't hunkered down and stuck in a crevice, they end up there. So it's unlikely to be finding anything big, any crabs or any lobsters or anything in this area of the tide line, just because there aren't the holes and the crevices. If you are going to find anything, you're going to have to lift a decent sized rock over. Like what Dave's just found there. We're just talking about there.
There, it's gone. There it is. We start recording.
What were we talking about earlier about how to tell if it's a male or a female? Do you remember, James?
It's a male that's got a beak.
Right, and this one's got like quite a sharp V underneath, haven't you? Mm-hmm. And he's got quite large claws, so this one's more likely to be a male.
Yeah.
And this is a green shore crab.
What? Why is it not nipping yet?
Because you see where I've got hold of it? Yeah. Its arms don't reach backwards. If I held hold of it in the front, see trying to put his claw around to get me? Whereas if you hold him around the back like that, claws don't reach you.
I done it on the bum one time and I just noticed it got me.
Oh no, well I'll tell you what though, I bet that was a lesson that you learned.
Which one got you? If any crab's going to get you, which one's going to be?
Probably the one with red eyes.
Velvet crab.
It was.
Them velvet swimming crabs are fast and they are angry.
What?
This is one of the things that I taught James in this. When you turn a rock over, never put your fingers where you can't see them, because there'll be something in there that'll get rid of you. And there is something inside of all this disturbance here. And it's one of those crabs that we were talking about being one of the angriest ones. One of the fastest and one of the angriest ones.
Velvet.
He's under the rock. He's under this.
These winkles and bits and pieces. He's probably dropped through onto the other
The
side.
velvet, guys.
There he is.
Up there. There he is.
Right. With these, what you either need to do is you need to get hold of them round the back, or you just need to be fast and pin them down.
There we go.
So if you can be fast and pin them down like that,
Yeah.
he can't get you. No, don't use that, James, because he might shed his claws. And then what you need to do is you need to hold on to him at the back,
I can't.
because if you hold on to him at the back, he can't reach you, look. But yeah, those ones. Do you know why it's called a velvet swimming crab?
Because them there can usually paddle and swim.
Absolutely. It's called a velvet because the texture on the top of its shell feels a bit like velvet, and them little flapping legs at the back are swimming legs. A velvet swimming crab. Well done.
But the ones without
Nicora puba,
the ones without the swimming
for anybody who wants to know.
things on them.
What we're doing is we're all looking in all of these caves and holes and bits and pieces under here to try and find a suitable hole. We were just discussing, can you remember, lads, what we were talking about what the hole has to be like to stand a good chance of being a lobster in there. It needs to be deep enough, have a little bit of water in there, and what's a good sign for outside the hole?
Whiskers.
2 red antennas, and if it's lived in there and there's any sand or any rocks, they usually push them out, don't they?
Yep.
So you're looking for things like little chewed up crab shells, little shells that he might have been eating,
Yeah.
any little bits of sand or rocks that he might have moved out of the way, and yeah, absolutely, if you can see 2 red antennas, that's it. Oh yeah.
Let me check. Yeah, I see his antennas.
You see them?
There, I see his
Just
claws.
a second, I'm just gonna see if I can show you there. You can just see them claws. You just see the white tips on the end of the claws, can't you?
Is that a GoPro you have?
This is a GoPro, yeah. The trick to try and do is, if this hole is shaped like this, you need to try and get the hook in and tickle behind him, because he'll think, oh no, there's something in this hole behind me, and he'll turn around, and when he does, you might be able to get a chance to grab him from the back. It's just finding a way to try and get your hook
That's good, teacher.
behind
That's good, teacher.
where it is. You might even find that there'll be 1 or 2 of them in here, because sometimes you get a boy lobster that protects a girl lobster. He's got hold of the hook. Can't move the. He's got hold of the hook with his claws.
Wait, what happens if I lure him out with his favourite stuff?
Go for it. There he is. Look.
There
There it is.
There he is. Dad, 3. Oh, hold on.
Careful.
It's all right. Right. Picking up from behind. There you go. Same as like what we're talking about with the crabs.
Yep.
Those claws won't go any further back from there, so if you're holding him somewhere back here, there's no way of him getting hold of you.
I'd rather hold a lobster instead of a crab.
And remember what we were talking about before, about how to tell if this is a boy or a girl? Remember what I said boys have, girls don't have?
Dots.
2 balls.
Is that balls?
See there? That little white one there and that little white one
Is that
there.
balls?
A female as well, these little bits here, these little
Help
fans,
them
are
swim.
bigger. And the tail is wider.
Can we get the
Because
shrimp?
when a female lobster's got her
we have
eggs,
a
where
net?
does she have them?
Here.
Underneath her tail.
Yeah.
So she's got a wider tail to get
Dad,
eggs on.
Can I catch the shrimp?
Now this one here, this little lad, this one's undersized. This area has a slightly different minimum landing size than the area we have at home. Back home in Cornwall, it's 90 millimetres. Up here, it's 87. It is 87 still, isn't it? Hasn't changed yet. But yeah, that was a perfect spot. A little undersized log. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the bucket, and then I'm going to show the lads about how to measure them with a gauge. So to measure one of them, the gauge needs to go the back of the eye to the back of this hard part here, back of the carapace. So this length along that line needs to be 87, and this one here is more like 80.
Can we keep it?
Too small. This guy here is probably about 4 years old. Generally, 2 more sheds of his shell and he'll be big enough to keep. So if you come down here and find him next year, he might be big enough. Isaac, if you want to pick the lobster up out of the bucket, because this one's too small, we are going to put it back, aren't we? So we'll take him and put him back in the hole that we found him from. So there's no harm at all, and he'll just turn round and go straight back in the hole where he was. There you go. Well done. Tide's beginning to turn now. It's going to start coming in. So what we're doing is we're making our way back down the coast where we've come from. We've got a couple of things. We've been talking to lads about different types of foraging that you can do on the shore up here. And one of the things that we've been looking and finding quite a fair few of is these winkles. As I was explaining to the boys, there's a minimum landing size on these, but one of the main things is looking around in the water, it's a little bit muddy. If you're collecting these for an area like that, you put them in a bucket and you put some clean water in them and let them purge all the mud out. After a day or two, keep changing the water until the water runs clear, and then they're good for boiling up. Periwinkles.
What is that? We saw a fish.
Right, James, before we start making our way back up there, empty your pockets. We had a talk before we come down, and I was saying about collecting stones and carrying stones. Let me see what you've got. Right, this one, yeah, that's a special one. That one, I would say no. Do you know what this is?
What?
Right, now do you know what this is?
Coal.
Sea coal. Like we were talking earlier on to David about, the area is known for coal mining. And every now and again, like you can see, there's been a big stir up somewhere out there. A bit of sea coal's washed in. You can tell the difference between this and jet, because when you draw a line on a rock like that, if it's coal, it's black. And if it's jet, the line's brown. We'll have one last look in that World War II pillbox, and then we'll go up there, alright?
I want to take the stone.
Okay.
Go with me into World War II. It's pretty dirty.
Going.
No, it's a Nazi German.
Come on.
Oh, Isaac! Crying out loud.
Have we survived?
Yep. I found the World War II. Let me see
There you go. There's a history lesson from James. Well, there we are. Thank you very much. I've had a really good time. Well done, lads.
You had a great time?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a great time.
Well, when you're coming down to Cornwall, just let me know.
I will do.
And yeah, best of luck for tomorrow, because you're playing rugby tomorrow, aren't you?
Isaac,
Good luck.
thank you very much for the time.
Thanks again, mate.
Appreciate it. Thank you, James. Thank you.
Right. Good luck.
See
Take
you
it
soon,
easy.
guys.
Ta-ra. We are back in the van. We need to go to a tackle shop to get some bait. We need to take James back to the digs to change out with those wet clothes. Then we're going to go and see my nana and get some food. And maybe, if we still have time, we'll do some exploring.
Yep.
I get asked quite a lot, how do I keep James occupied? How do you keep a kid occupied with what you're doing all the time? Now, we are an outdoorsy family. We don't spend an awful lot of time on devices. But there are times when you just can't help it. It's an 8.5 hour drive up here from Cornwall to the northeast. One of the games that we like to play, we're into our hunting and we're into our fishing. One of the games that we like to play on is Fishing Clash. So I was over the moon when Fishing Clash reached out to me and asked if they could sponsor one of my videos. So this video is sponsored by Fishing Clash. James is actually playing Fishing Clash now. Well, I don't mind this game. I like playing it. I find it slightly educational because a lot of the locations where we get a chance to go fishing in, we can play the game. So where are you fishing at the minute?
Florida.
Before we went out to Florida, we were playing this game and we were learning what some species were. So James knew what a lane snapper was, and he knew what a blue runner was, and he knew what a barracuda, he knew what all those were because he'd actually played this game. Now, what are you landing at the minute?
A barracuda.
Barracuda. One of the locations that we went to this year was we went to Norway. So it's been really cool. While I was away in Norway, James can catch all the same fish that he's seen me catch in the videos. Also, one of the locations what I've done a video on where we visited to go fishing was Madeira. The species that we caught when we were in Madeira, you can catch them on this game. Fishing Clash has even given us a gift code to share with our followers. If you enter the code FishLocker into the gift code section, it will give you some bonuses to help you catch more fish in the game. As always, I'll tag everything into the description of the video, including the links and the code. Right, whilst our driver's back to the digs, James, where are you going to be?
I'm going to be at Florida coast.
Right, I know where I'd rather be. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, in you go. There you are. Thank you very much.
No problem at all, mate.
See you later, lads.
Good luck. Watch what you're doing,
Right
mate.
on.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck, mate.
Go and get the door. Heave.
Nice to meet you, see you later.
Try now. How's your steak? Good. Well, I'll tell you what, that was food was delicious, wasn't it? I can't believe James ate all that steak by himself. I'd kind of said, yeah, you can get the 10-ounce steak, because I was expecting I was going to get a chance to eat about 4 ounces of it. Yeah, this is the Three Horseshoes. I'll tag information in the description of it, but the rum's been lovely, the food's delicious. Exactly what we needed, wasn't it, James? Off to see me Nana now. James and I are out for a quick walk this morning. This is the first proper frost that we've seen so far this year. Shows how much milder it is down in Cornwall than where we are up here up north. But yeah, the place that I'm taking James to this morning is a place that's kind of like the home of one of my favourite legends from up here. It's one of my favourite tales when I was a kid. I used to have a book of it and I used to read it all the time. Now anybody that drives past here every day will probably be like, oh yeah. But yeah, for me that was... Penshaw Monument, and we are out at my favourite time of day. We've just seen half a dozen rabbits, haven't we? Yeah. James is saying that we should have brought our no. Yeah, this Penshaw Monument was erected in like 1845 by the first Earl of Durham, John Lambton. You see these here, James?
Yeah.
Do you know what these are? They're called teasels. They're really spiky. What they're really good for is the seeds birds like finches, like goldfinches and that, love them. And you know what these are, don't you?
Sticky!
Burdocks. Hours of fun as a kid. Yeah. I'll quickly talk to you about... I'll use this as an opportunity to have a breather. The legend surrounding this monument is the legend of the Lambton worm. Now, I had a book of this as a kid. You stuck with them teasels. The legend that I knew as a kid, the one I had in my book, there's different ones of it. But young John Lambton wanted to go fishing on a Sunday instead of going to church. Doesn't seem like too much of a bad idea to me, but yeah, in those days it was a big deal. As he was sneaking down to River Weir, bumped into a witch, and she was like, you don't want to be going fishing today, you want to go to church. And he was like, on you go, I'm going fishing. Anyway, he caught like a little worm, like a little snake. That old witch come past and she was like, fishing on a Sunday. Anyway, he chucked this little worm down a well and off he went. Young John ended up going and fighting in crusades. Anyway, while this time that he was away, this worm grew and grew out of this well, poisoned the well, grew that big that it started eating the livestock, eating the little kids from the nearby villages, and it completely laid low to his dad's land. His dad currently, like Earl Lambton. When he comes back from the crusades, this big worm was just laying low to the local area, and all these knights had come and tried to kill it, and all it does is it just wraps around them and just squeezes them and crushes them. So what he did was his armour, took it to a blacksmith and got loads of spearheads stuck to his armour. So when he went up to go and fight this worm, and the worm wrapped round him and started squeezing him, it was like, oh, he's hurting me, so he tried squeezing him harder and harder and harder. And the worm, too powerful for anybody else to kill it, ended up killing itself on the spikes on his armour. Yeah, that is the legend that I know is of the Lambton worm. Let's have a quick wander around here and see what we can find. There's tons of rabbits about, isn't there, James? I don't know if you could hear them up there. I mean, it's crack of dawn. The sun has literally just come up. And there's 2 lassies up there that are like 3 bottles of Prosecco deep. Yeah. Do you reckon they've come out early or do you reckon they've stayed out late?
Stayed out late.
It is a Sunday morning. The sun is just coming up. We have got stuff to do, we've got places to go. Might even do a little bit of fishing. But just avoid catching any worms. James just cracked the blinder of a joke earlier. He was just saying, how do you know that the Angel of the North was a fisherman?
My fish was this big.
His fish was this big. Came up with that all by himself. He's real proud of himself. See, he's got my sense of humour. This is truly massive. Now I remember when this was put up, I think it was like 1997, 1998, something like that. It was designed by Sir Anthony Gormley and it was commissioned by Gateshead Council. And it stands 20 metres tall and the wingspan is 54 metres. Now I'm pretty sure it's like 200 tonnes. And it is, it's one of the most viewed pieces of art in the world. I remember when it was put up, I remember when they first put it up, and there was loads of folks carried on about it because they're like, oh, it doesn't look very much like an angel, I don't really like them wings. I think it looks like an airplane. What do you reckon, James? Made out of steel. One of the things that I like about that is I think that he's thought about how it's going to change as time goes on, so it's never going to be completely the same. Yeah, anyway, it is first light. We've done a little bit of scouting about today. I don't know if you can see it up there, but there's a pair of kestrels having a fight with a crow right on top of it. I think we should go for some breakfast. What do you reckon?
Yes.
Yes.
Please.
Yes, please. Okay. The structure is made up of over 3,000 steel pieces. Yeah. Tell you what, we'll have a close look. I'm pretty sure that they built this to, tell you what, it's got some well-developed calves. I'm pretty sure that this can withstand up to 100-mile-an-hour winds. You'd like to hope so, wouldn't you? It's right on the A1. Breakfast time. That's sunrise. Good stuff. See you later. Back on the road. This is a different mark than what we were intending on going to. It was recommended to me by someone yesterday and today. Yeah, we'll give it a crack. We are fishing from Hartlepool. There is the Tees Bay. What do you reckon our chances are, James? Who do you reckon's going to win? You or me?
Me.
You? Yeah, I do too. We're just after low water. About 3/4 of an hour after low water. And we're going to fish a few hours of the flood. We'll just see how long the bait lasts for. James and I are still setting up. I've only managed to get one rod out. And I was busy lashing on a bait. And what was the bite like, James? Right. All you're going to do there, look, is we're just tighten it up a tiny bit, just to take in any slack line. And just keeping an eye on it, because what can happen if a wave comes through, like a wave comes through and dislodges it, your lead bumbling along the bottom can show a little bite. But if you're getting like a proper, just give it time. Give it a bit of patience. Right. When we bring these in for a bait change, I'll show you the rigs. bite. You know what you're doing then. So lift up straight away and start winding. You got it? No? Yes, no? Hope you got it this time.
Tiny little whiting.
James has got a personal best whiting. I'm going to get him unhooked and sent back.
And Dad, don't forget about the
Yeah, don't forget about the seaweed fish. This is the rigs and the baits that we're using, so it's just going to be a 2-hook scratching rig, and the hooks have got some little floating beads on them. The water clarity is really dirty, and I think there's going to be quite a bit of crabs, that's why we've got the flotation beads. But we're just trying to pick up dabs, flounders, whiting, anything like that. Don't let the rod touch the side, keep winding all the way up. Stop. Right, walk backwards. There we go. That's it. That's a good lad. Right, well, what do you reckon? You tell me what it is.
I think it's a pullet. No, collie.
Coaling. What was the bite like to start with? Yeah. To start with, it was just like and then it went. What do? You just pick your rod up, lifted your rod up, lifted, then wound and keep winding. And it's taken like the fancy shiny silver and blue bead, and that was just frozen black. Do you want to keep hold of it? We'll unhook it and drop it back. Yeah. Coalfish, well, also called a billet. Get ready for it. If you're feeling a good bite, one hand on the reel because you're going to have to start reeling. Alright, well, keep the rod tip up. We were getting phantom bites. Like me and James were watching the rod and it kept going whack, whack, kept coming back and James kept missing, and I was like, just wait and stop. And all we had to do was we just had to stand there, and I just stood with the rod in my hand, and every time I got a little bite I just dragged the bait along the bottom. Do you know what that is, James?
A dab?
A dab. Yeah.
You can
One of the reasons you can tell it's a dab is that it's almost see-through, look. Yeah. And it was taken on the bottom hook. Taken on the bottom hook with some beads. There we are, that's all the rig was. It was just a 2-hook scratching rig with some flotation beads. And you can actually see where they've been biting at the beads. And it's had a lovely little dab. Now dabs you can tell as well because they're smooth one way and they're rough the other. So smooth when you rub them that way and like sandpaper when you rub them that way. Lovely little dainty dab. Big joined by my big little brother with a very questionable facial hair. It is November and he's trying to get away by saying it's for Movember. Yeah.
I'm a bit camera shy.
Yeah. What do you reckon, Smith? Be honest. James, you're doing it every time, look. If you lift it up, right, told you, right, start winding, there you go. Right, keep going. Don't go mad, you've got it on the hook. Right. Once you've got it hooked and you're winding it in, you don't need to go crazy with it, you just need to just reel it in. Right, let's have a look. Yeah, perfectly hooked. Another lovely little collie. Well done. That bead at the top's getting well and truly bitten. Oh, that blue rod's going now. Well, that one over there, look. Yeah. If 3 rods go at the same time, that's a really good problem to have. I would rather have all 3 rods going at the same time than no rods going all the time. See them, can't you? Can't miss them bites. Start winding then. Have you got it? Good man. Right, keep the rod tip up and keep winding. Don't stop. Don't stop winding. There you go. Keep going. That rod might be a little bit too long for you. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Don't stop. Ooh, stop there. What was that bite like? That was a proper striker. What was like a tush. And all you did was just lifted straight up into it, and you've got a dab on one hook.
A big dab.
Yeah, on the top hook.
And a flipping big.
And a nice coley on the other hook. But yeah, that worked perfectly, didn't it?
Yep.
Also, when you're bringing them in, rod tip high and just constantly winding. Well done, nice one. You're going to look a little bit happier than that. You're going to just look like a little bit shocked. Feel like it's still there?
Yeah.
Swing it in. That is a little codling.
It's coming.
Yeah, go on, let's the line off. Right. On the bottom hook.
Codling.
A lovely little codling. That is a really little one. And he's just to say hooked as well. You were really close there. Yeah. Oh, look, it's come off. That was how close he was. Just come straight off the hook.
Well, he just dehooked himself. So
You're going to take hold of him and then we'll go and put him back. You got him?
Yep.
Let's walk it down the steps. I was getting bites and we weren't connecting. James was missing loads. So I've switched to smaller hooks. You can see straight away, look. You ready for it, James? Right, give it a chance. This one's got a bite on it as well. I don't know how well you can see that. All I'm telling James to do is, because these dabs, they're really aggressive bites, even for their size. They're only small, but they'll come in a ragga bait. Give it a chance, and pick the rod up, unless it feels like the rod's going to get pulled over. Pick the rod up and hold it in your hand, and just gently move it a couple of feet. Because that bait moving and getting out of the way, the dabs sometimes think, oh no, it's going to escape, and it triggers them into biting it. You reckon you've got it?
Yep.
Right, we'll walk a little bit closer to the edge then. Take the rod to the left hand side. That'll do, that way. Because the tide's pushing down this way, as soon as the fish pick up, they're automatically going to run down like that. Struggle looking into the sun? I'll get my sunglasses out for you in a minute. Yep. Right, keep winding. Keep winding, all the way up. All the way up. Right, now lift it in. Put the rod down in the holder quickly because I need to get the other rod out of the way before this boat comes. You're having trouble seeing it, aren't you, because it's sun?
Yep.
I would try picking it up and just holding it. Right, just gently try moving it to the left and see if you're getting a bite. We're just winding in to go and check the baits, and there was another double shot with a dab. And is that a whiting this time? Yeah.
Yeah, it's whiting.
Dab and a whiting. So yeah, what's the score now? What's the tally? How many do you think you've had and how many have I had?
I think I've had 6 and I think you've had like 5 or 7.
Ah, so who's winning, you or me?
I think you've got 5, so I think me.
Alright, okay. Let's get these unhooked and put back.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that was a nice bite. Right, get ready for it. Got it? Right, keep the rod tip up then. James, concentrate on what you're doing. Slow down. Hold the rod up. Well done. That is definitely the biggest fish of the session. Well done, James. And you hooked it and landed it all by yourself. Let's go and drop it back. Those are the teeth that I was talking about. They are really sharp.
Can you put it back?
Oh, is it still there, is it? Yeah. Oh, I think you've got it. Go on then. Oh yeah, I tell you what, it's nodding its head a bit. Right, take your time with it. You don't need to go crazy. You've got it on the hook now. What you got coming up, James? Yeah, I had to assist James there. That is quite a nice size whiting. And be careful though, don't put your fingers in your mouth like the last one. Because look at them teeth in there. That is actually the biggest fish of the session so far, isn't it? And it is a lovely purpley coloured whiting.
Yep.
But lots of spiky teeth in there. So yeah. Do you want to let it go?
No, I'll let you let it go.
Okay. Right. Start winding it up then. There you go, there's another one. Look, you can just see the hook. Just in the corner of its mouth. Yeah. There, look. Another lovely little dab. You can see where they've been chewing at them beads, where the beads are all bashed up. I did so. Is it still there, is it?
Yeah.
Right, lift the rod up. And walk to the edge. Good man, keep winding. Yeah, all of us went for that at the same time, didn't they? That's it, keep the rod high. Right, well, James has managed another fantastic whiting there. I was talking to well, I'll just show you. I was talking to a couple of these lads here and they're saying that these are half decent whiting for on here, so I am very happy. But what we're going to do is, because there's an awful lot of boat activity now and we're fishing straight into the middle of the harbour, these are our last casts. We're going to get James to unlock that whiting, we're going to pack away, we're giving all of our bait to somebody else and we're going to make it home. You ready for that?
Yeah.
Here we are, we'll let the last one go. Last little dab. Typical. Yeah. Absolutely stunning. Right, well, yeah, the best of luck, lads. It's been brilliant meeting you. Yeah. I hope that bait catches you a couple of fish.
I've got a good selection.
I was just going to say that they've definitely thought about this more than we have. Yeah. I'm going to have to invest in one of those before we come down next time. See you now.
See you later.
James and I were just talking there. I don't even know how many fish we had by the end of that. I know at one point I'd added it up and we'd had 8 dabs. We had 3 double shots. We had 2 massive whiting at the end. Yeah, I won't be surprised if we've had 20 fish there. And that was all just by small baits, small hooks. And a stunning afternoon to be out on the pier. What do you reckon? Go and get some grub now, yeah? A long drive home.
Hey, yeah, you alright?
You alright, mate? How's it going?
Alright, yeah.
I hope you've enjoyed joining us on our trip up north. We have got a fair drive back down home now. All the very best. See you later.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out the FishLocker YouTube channel, where we have hundreds of videos from our adventures just like this one. We upload new videos every Sunday evening, so don't forget to click subscribe and we'll see you on the next one. Let's go!